let's jump in to Mr. Curtis Mead. Ross has had a lot to say about Curtis Mead in probably a year and a half, 2 years, somewhere in that range. Curtis Mead, he's 6'2", 171 pounds. He's 22 years old. He was born in Australia. Did you know that, Ross?
Yep.
Okay. Of course you did.
Hey, mate. Of course I knew that.
Mr. Ross Jensen, I want you to break down Curtis Mead's stat because I know you like him. And I know you like him a lot.
So Curtis Mead has had an interesting career. He played baseball in Australia. That's how I know he's from there. From a wee age, at 16, he started his career playing baseball in Australia. He came over stateside in 2021. And I just love this guy's profile. I really do. This guy strikes me as just a pure hitter. So he started, I'm going to walk through it. In 2021, as a 20-year-old, he came into the league, was placed in single A as a Ray. Again, the Rays doing great stuff. And he hit 356 with a 586 slugging percentage. Earned himself a promotion. There, he met some stiffer competition. The batting average dropped a little bit. He had 282 there. He still slugged 466. Speed is not a huge part of this guy's game. Like I said, he's just a pure hitter. And then the Rays were impressed enough to get him a very small taste at the end of the season at Triple A. From high A, he was bumped up to Triple A. You don't see that very often. And I was making this rallying cry at the end of 2021, and this was maybe a little premature, but I was like, you know who else did something like that? Albert Pujols. And then he was in the major leagues, and he was crushing it the next season. So it didn't quite go that way, but he did really well in AAA in a small taste that he got there. And overall in that season, he hit 321 and slugged 533. He's not a huge OBP guy, but he doesn't strike out very much either. So this is another one of those guys that's barreling the ball. He hit 15 home runs that season as well and stole 11 bases.
38 doubles.
38 doubles. That is notable. Yeah. So fast forward to this year, he spent his entire season in the high minors between AA and AAA, most of the season at AA. There he hit 305 and he slugged 548. When he was moved up to AAA, results again dropped a little bit like they did when he made that transition from single A to high A, but still pretty solid, 278 batting average and a 486 slugging percentage. He missed the rest of the season with an injury, and I'm really bummed about that because I think his trend was straight up, and I think he could have seen the major leagues if not for that injury. The question mark when it comes to Christian Mead is really about his defense. I don't really know where they're going to play him, and with the Rays, that's a big consideration. You know, you gotta be able to play D in their schema. So we'll see what happens. Maybe long term he could be a first baseman. He could play third base. He could go all over like everybody else, but he's got to be competent enough to be getting that regular playing time, or else he's going to find his way to like DH or something like that. I think they'll probably maneuver him around to different positions. They're trying to give him a taste at a lot of different places. We probably could have ranked him at other places as well, though he did spend most of his time in 2022 as a third baseman.
I do want to highlight this. There was a reason that I brought up the 38 doubles in 2021. He hit another 27 in 2022. In 262 hits that he had 77 doubles. You turn 10 of those into home runs. And we're talking about a slugging percentage that is off the charts.
Yeah. Well, and I've heard this guy has baseball roots. His dad was a pretty successful baseball player in Australia. His comp is Eric Hosmer, who I think this is actually a really solid comp for Curtis Mead. If you look at Eric Hosmer's career, I mean, I could see Curtis Mead having a career like this. But the interesting thing is Eric Hosmer came in with really high expectations. Before he got called up, this is Eric Hosmer's 2 minor league seasons before he got called up. And I'm going to continue beating this drum because I want everybody to have this perspective. In 2010, Eric Hosmer at high A and double A as a 20-year-old hit .338 and slugged .571. That's really good. And then in AAA as a 21-year-old, before he got called up into the major leagues, he hit .439. He was hitting .439 in 118 plate appearances with an OPS over 1100. So he was just killing it. So he came into the major leagues with very high expectations, and he hasn't met those expectations. He was never that player. But during his peak seasons, he's a guy that was hitting between 270, 320, 270 and 320 with 25 home runs. That's pretty good. You know?
At first, I hated the comp. Now that I look up Hosmer's numbers, it makes a lot of sense. Hosmer hit a lot of doubles. Like a lot of doubles.
Yeah.
And his home runs are a little bit higher than I thought they were. I don't recall him hitting 25 home runs in 2016 and 2017.
Isn't it interesting to reflect on these guys' careers? Because we pull out some of these comps and I'm like, I just remember that guy sucking, you know, and then I look at it and it's like, he didn't suck, you know.
No, Hosmer was a fine player.
Yeah. My perspective is what sucked.
Yeah.
Expectation
reality
versus what actually happens is where that, I guess, that feeling that they suck comes.
Yeah.
You know, if your expectations are like way high and they come in here, then it's a disappointment. Everybody should reset their mindset and think about this as logically as you can. If you have that kind of a career, it looks pretty good. And that's fantasy helpful too.
Oh, yeah. That's Curtis Mead, guys. Man, Hosmer had a great rookie year. That's a great comp. I hated the comp as soon as you said it, and then I look at it and it's really, really good.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and of course visit our website, scoutthestatline.com for more.